Come on! Come on! What's up, guys? Welcome back to MotionAutoTv, and we're working on the C10 again. So goal is for today is to actually mount, well, actually in this video, because it's probably gonna take a couple days, they're actually to try to get the bed mounted on this thing, and I would like to actually get it started. So I'm gonna mess with some of the wiring. I'm gonna basically steal all the wiring under the dash harness, engine bay harness, battery, everything, all that stuff out of the Envoy over there. And Garrett is gonna be over here messing with the bed. So what's kind of the plan with the bed?
So I think right now the big goal is trying to set whatever the deck height of the bed's going to be. We need something that we're going to work up to for the mounts, and I think we're going to do something similar to this. Either try to remove the spot welds and reuse this, or get another one. Whatever the case may be, we're probably going to bring the deck height up to about here, maybe a little bit higher.
Because I think we're actually going to lower the bed too.
Yeah, so you can kind of see we got about 1.5 inch spacer here, and that brought that bed up. And you could, I don't know if anybody saw the comments, there was an unhappy camper, so it probably has a good point, you know. So we're gonna probably bring this back down, and that pretty much put the bottom of the bed at the same height as the bottom of the cab. So it makes sense. We're probably gonna get it back down there, but we need to clear all the suspension, pick a deck height, build towards that, start with cross members, and then we can start on the brackets and everything that goes from there. But until we have something that we can work up to, it's kind of pointless to do anything else. So we're going to try to address this here, whether we cut it at the bend or try to pull the spot welds. We're going to do something to have a bed deck that's going to sit to that, and cross rails and the whole nine. So that's kind of going to be a bit of a focus this morning. See how far we get.
Figure out how custom you want to get with the mounts and how we do all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
once that's out, we can kind of see where things might lie and what we have a clear shot at a cross brace for. And you know, it would have been nice to do something with this here because it's pretty stout.
I think we can.
You think so? I was thinking we might have to cut that out, but we'll see. We'll see how it all ties in when, you know, at the very least, we'll probably cut that little tab off there. But
the nice thing is it rolls brakes and steers now. So we actually hit the brakes. You can park it on the hill. I could actually sit in it while you guys help me push it in. So we're actually gonna push it in, put on the 2-post lift, basically just use the lift to pull the bed off it. We're gonna roll it forward, and I'm gonna play with some of the wiring and stuff with that. Garrett's gonna mess with the bed stuff, and yeah, let's get started with that. All right, we ready?
Mm-hmm. On your right, if you need it.
Actually, I think we need to be on top.
Right on top.
Yeah, so that way it's the lift's centered in the bed. A piece of wood for
slices.
The pocket.
Hey, do you have any hella horns by chance? I don't think so. I get the safety latch in there, I guess. Oh, there we go. Look at that beast. So this is a, if you guys haven't been following along with progress, 2008 GMC Envoy. Basically everything, whole frame, running gear, and the factory 4.2 inline 6 with automatic transmission. So the ECU is actually on the engine right here, and then all of this stuff basically lays over to the side. I think that's the tranny, like the TCU, and basically there's the big fuse box that goes right there in the engine bay. And then all these plugs just go up to it and they like screw in. So I'm gonna go try and grab all that stuff out of that other thing, and just to get this thing to turn the key. It would be kind of cool to be able to like pull it in and out. It does have a rod knock, but it did run and drive. It drove itself on the trailer, drove itself in and out of the shop. So that's my goal for this video, is to see if we can get it running. Well, gonna get it running. So got it in here and got it sitting down a little bit. So instead of having those blocks in there, it's basically sitting right down on this little lip. And that was that lip that we were talking about removing and putting up here. So that way it's just not in the way of, you can see I cut it out right there to get around the shock towers, all that type of stuff. So I think we might have had it sitting down a little bit further in the front last time, maybe just a smidge, because I don't think we actually had these guys in here. So we could yank those out and maybe just put a 2x4, which would add.
I remember thinking that the bed was wedged, you know, down in angle. I think these sitting on the mounts now, it looks more
level.
In line.
Yeah.
It looks more. I can't say level because there's a rake to the truck, but it looks in line with the body now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's kind of where it needs to sit, though. I think in that.
Yeah, height on the side there to the cab looks really nice. I mean, you can pick and choose another quarter-inch, half-inch maybe, but
yeah.
that's
I mean, it probably could go down like another inch or so if you wanted it like completely like that. Maybe we'll look at some pictures online and kind of go from there. But yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And then that gives us an idea on where we actually need to set like the bed stuff too. Yeah. Side to the Envoy. So basically, as far as I know, we just gotta grab this plug right here. So this stuff runs all of the front, so like all the headlights, tail lights, all that stuff, or headlights, I mean, in the front.
So
and then yeah, and then so right here, I believe this goes to, I think this goes to the engine, and then this right here goes to the bottom of the fuse box. Obviously this goes inside. This stuff right here probably does some more stuff in there. I know it all does stuff, but I don't know exactly what it needs to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that little grommet right there and then actually start looking what's up underneath the dash of this thing. So this is the main thing that plugs into, yeah, we need to grab that fuse box. This whole piece right here is the main thing that goes to the ignition switch. So basically whatever ties to this, I'm gonna try to grab out of here. Just so we could actually hook up the ignition switch and then, you know, turn it on and hopefully see if we could actually get her to run, because everything else should already kind of have power. They do have a weird little fuse box right here though. So I actually don't know. This is probably actually the body control module. So hopefully I don't need that, because I'm gonna have to, this was the van, or not the van, this was the Envoy where it had needles in the back seat.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of don't like cruising around in here and doing stuff, because it's kind of gross. It smells gross. It's just kind of gross. But I want to steal all the wiring and stuff out of here so we could actually get that truck started.
I guess a quick little update here. We're working out here. Got the couple of tools, screwdrivers, Titan toolkit, but dash out and everything. And
this thing is disgusting.
yeah, this thing is just disgusting. I mean, you guys can just see how bad it really is, but got the dash all out, so now we can actually get to all of this and the ignition harness and all that where it comes into the cabin. What's your plan of action, Trev?
No, I wish we'd have did this when we had more room to open the doors, but
Yeah, my side's pretty good. It's got this side which was all cramped.
yeah, look at all that change.
Oh yeah, there's probably more in change than we bought this thing for.
Not quite,
Close,
but I mean, yeah, it's give me a 12 or 13.
short. You have the 13, so here's 12.
Oh, I don't have it.
14?
13.
14? Here's a 14. 14? No. Oh, it is a 13.
Check your eyes, Ty.
I gotta get my eyes checked. I've never been to the eye doctor, so I'm okay. I got an excuse.
I mean, I haven't really been to the eye doctor either. But
You just went to the eye doctor.
you're right, but they said it's pretty good vision, but they didn't give me like an official like.
Like a rating.
Man, it's got a lot of clips everywhere.
Yeah, it really does. Like,
It's crazy, just engineering, just how they like the routing of everything, and just kind of crazy.
yeah.
Modern cars.
So essentially, you're just taking as much of this out of the way just so you can get to the raw harness. Is
Yeah.
that your plan?
Yeah, just to see where it goes, because that big, this harness actually goes down here and around. So I need to get all this crap out of the way to where I could actually just pull that harness out and then just decide what I'm gonna take out from there. Because obviously, like, there's all this HVAC stuff, which would be cool if we could get it to work, but at the same time, I don't want to bastardize the whole inside of that truck and just
Yeah.
make it look like an Envoy on the inside. Because if I wanted an Envoy, I'd just drive an Envoy, you know.
Yeah, they make like the kits, don't they? Some say like the 50s,
Mhm.
late 50s, has all under dash HVAC and stuff. I'm sure with how many companies out there do restoration kits and stuff, I'm sure there's some AC and HVAC options for those. So
It seems like most of the harness is just right here, though, so I shouldn't have to dig too much further.
yeah, so it looks like you can see where it comes in right there from the firewall, and this basically comes up right there and then over to your side, and that's pretty much it. There's not it doesn't go back into this like body control or anything back here. You said that fuselage.
I mean, it might, but that could be for the rear too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there might be a big old wire that goes towards the back there too. So we got her really stripped down. Dash is completely out. This whole freaking piece is out. Everything is literally attached to that. There's nothing like bolted to the firewall. It's all bolted to this, and then that's just bolted up there. So, I mean, for like an assembly line, it makes sense. Just crazy, like the engineering that goes into stuff like that to make that work. Look, in the aluminum dash is part of the vent. That's crazy.
It is weird.
It's
I mean, all the HVAC is like different than the dash bar stuff, but it's like the dash bar is the vent.
I mean, they definitely. Well, I think they made like 1 million of these things. So,
They probably did.
so I mean, I see them all over now, and especially with how big of pieces of crap they are, like the engines and stuff. Or I guess it's kind of how people treat them. I guess they don't do too kindly with no oil changes and stuff like that. But yeah, we got brake pedal, throttle pedal, position sensor. We got the shift lever, all that type of stuff. Shift cable, and then we have this whole harness right here, which honestly I don't even know how much we're actually going to need of it. Basically, I'm just gonna see what happens, give it power, and as long as it turns on, and then I'm just gonna weed out as much crap as I can and just go from there.
All right, so we got the engine bay fuse box just got in here. Got the ECU hooked up, and then the ECU to the fuse box, and then the harness we pulled out of the Envoy.
Hooked up to the gauge cluster, or not the gauge cluster, steering column, all that stuff. So now we need to, I don't really know what else to do. I mean, we could give that power up there,
See if it'll turn ignition on.
see if it'll crank it,
Yeah.
you know, because that'll tell us a lot right there. We might have to put in the shift column or whatever, put it in neutral.
So it recognizes it.
Yeah, so it knows it's in neutral, but I mean the tranny is actually in neutral right now, so maybe we connect all that crap. But yeah, so there's all this stuff. Let's see, so basically this whole thing right here, there's these big plugs. This is the one that comes from underneath the dash. So we'll just add this to the mess. Stuff it under there. Stick it right there. Then you use like a 7 mil to suck it in. Let's see, which one is it? That's the other one. Yes. Like that. And this is a mess. I'm definitely not leaving it like this.
This is like the test.
And if I do end up leaving it like this, you guys will know. You guys will know if I do.
Because it's a Trevi's Customs job.
Because if it'll just be like this for 2 or 3 years, you know. I mean, I don't even know how long I'm gonna have this thing. For what?
I thought you were keeping this like that was a long term.
I don't know. We'll see. See how good a burnout. We're gonna see how good a burnouts it does, and then we'll
add
decide.
it to the horde.
Add it. Just add it.
Yeah.
This one goes in here. Wire colors match. There we go.
Good. Good glove.
Yeah. So and then there's another one that goes right there. That goes to all the headlights and stuff.
Oh, which we should need it though. Or does it like complete a circuit?
I mean, it'll just go to all the headlights and stuff.
Right,
So
okay.
it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Here's another big plug. I'll find where that goes.
Alright, so plugged a couple things in the fuse boxes and
We have a check engine light.
check engine light. Trev grabbed the
That's all we got.
Got the cluster out of the Envoy.
So right now I have the cluster. I have the. I wonder if the throttle body will be able to hear it. Can't hear it, but we have a check engine light, so that power's getting somewhere.
Battery on the charger right now, and then just kind of just trying to get everything plugged in up here, and the fuse box here, but we're getting somewhere at least, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I hope.
Their hazards working.
The hazards work. If there was light bulbs, they would work. Oh.
Ooh. We got more lights.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good sign.
Now let's check this out. So it thinks that it's in first right now.
It's having a vehicle security. The tranny's not hooked up, is it?
No.
Yeah, so you need to hook the tranny to the ECU or whatever ECU. It's probably just defaulting to first. And it's also got a little
This thing.
security warning thing. Oh yeah, shift indicator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thinks it's in first right now.
I bet you it's just defaulting because it's not getting a signal for your indicator.
Well, all that stuff should be kind of hooked up, but.
Well, it's not hooked up. 'Cause it's not hooked up.
Well, I have.
Oh, you hooked it up.
I
You have it
have
hooked
the
up down
shifter
here.
hooked up right
Okay,
there,
gotcha. I didn't know that.
and then I have the.
So if we move this, this needs to be activated by a brake though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we, unless
But
you.
that should technically be parked though, because it's locked.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So. See, and this thing right here should tell that where it actually is. But we have. But if it was in neutral, it would. I guarantee it would crank.
So if you guys can hear that, that's actually the electronic throttle body. Because Trevor's messing with the pedal here.
So
that's working.
the one thing that did happen, which is the tranny control thing. I'm pretty sure this is the tranny ECU.
TCM or whatever.
I was moving some things around. See that little arc right there?
Ooh.
It hit the positive.
I think maybe gave it a little jolt in there.
Could have gave her the little bit of a jolt, so that might be.
Do you have the
Little.
TCU off the other one?
The steal it, you know.
I know they're different years, but I don't know if
Grab
it's the
it,
same.
yeah, probably the same. I mean, alright guys, so we got the key to turn on. I don't know actually where we left off, but we got the key to turn on, plugged in a bunch of stuff using the old jumper cable, ground technique, ground in a bunch of stuff. Every light on the dash is on. HP tuners would not connect to the ECU or download it. I think I might have fried this TCU right here, the tranny control unit, so it just thinks it's in first gear, so it won't engage the starter. So I just jumped the starter, and we had a little bit of success, so we'll see if it does it again.
Look at your concoction of things.
Yeah, I know. Well, this was just to be like, okay, well, it runs now, let's, you know, clean up the wiring, do all that stuff, figure out what we don't need.
Yeah, because it's not the final thing, because it's like, at the end of the day, this block has a
Well,
rod knock, so it's going to all have to come out anyways at some
Yeah.
point.
And I just want to simplify everything and just make
Yeah.
it super simple, because I don't
Yeah,
want
de-ring that
all
harness and all
this
that.
wiring and stuff in there. But also, I mean, we might end up switching this thing to a manual transmission and then going with the ECU master ECU.
Yeah, they make it real simple. Just run all your own wiring.
Yeah, do all that stuff. But it would be cool to like be able to like ghetto rig it so we could pull it in and out of the shop, and then, you know, you're like, okay, well, this thing actually works. You know, it's like one of those stages of like the build where you like need just a smidge more motivation, and if it runs and you can move it, you're like, all right, let's actually get this thing done. You know, let's get a motor, get it in there officially, then turbo the stuff. And honestly, I would like to mess with, so the 08s, you could actually turbo them with HP tuners, and you could actually scale the mass airflow sensor and do the time. I think you could actually do, don't quote me on this, but I think you could do like a 3-bar speed density type of tune on it, like you do on like the truck engines or the, you know, whatever. So basically you'll actually be able to tune it for the boost, whereas the 05s or whatever, you can't do any of that stuff. So yeah, the 08's the one to have, and it has a mass airflow sensor. So
It's got it on the charger. Give it a minute. Give it another go.
we could try it again. Let's try it real quick. Turn the key on. I wonder if it's,
Dave, why didn't you say that yesterday?
What?
you actually
Jump the
just,
starter.
Because he said it was you want to start with a key. Is it starting? Oh, it's not giving it fuel because it's security. It probably won't give it spark either because it's newer.
I mean, it already started. I think this is the fuel pump relay, right?
Leaking kerosene fluid or tranny fluid.
Is it leaking again?
Yeah,
I looped the line.
I think there's a cooler or something, wasn't there?
Was it too
What
rusty?
happened, Dave?
Oh, what?
Dave said you don't need that ground.
I mean, usually there's more than one ground for the wiring harness.
Yeah, I don't know what the ground.
It must be a Chevy thing.
Chevy thing. Yeah,
I
Dave
would
don't
say
mess with Chevys. Dave only does.
Dave was messing with
The
it.
only domestic Dave messes with is Dodge.
Nah, I mean,
Dave's
Dave's Dodge.
Discount Dodge.
Dave'sDiscountDodge.com.
I might get something soon.
If you guys want discount parts, go to Dave'sDiscountDodge.com.
Dude, I
Link
don't
in the
really sell
description.
much. So.
Link in the description. Yeah, because you want too much money.
No, because I need it.
No, because you
I'm
hoard
like-
it. You hoard it.
I'm
for
like,
price
do
it
I
so
need this
much.
other 6.2 block? I better keep it.
You hoard it and price it so expensive. That way you can keep it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the Dave way. So, with it actually grounded, Trevor's got the fuel pump relay jumped right here. It was turning on,
Ready?
so hopefully now we got some fuel. Let's give her a go. It's already jumped, I think. All right. Oh yeah, it's got a hole in the block.
What the hell did you do to this, David?
Dave.
Yeah, look at this.
How you doing?
You better send it. Man, he's making the truck fall apart.
Good.
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be something silly. I wondered if the key will work. Like if the ground did it. Hey, what did it show it was? Did it show it was in first still?
Look at it, Josh.
You can try it.
It's not gonna change.
Yeah, the fuel pump isn't going to
Yeah, it's not
change
gonna
the
change my ground.
that's like a ground
the gear selector
Maybe that's why that thing was getting so hot.
because it's grounded.
I was trying to ground through the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's still security light's still on, still in first gear.
So something's going on with the gear position.
I would look at it. Can you pull up maybe a diagram of the whole harness and see where grounds are at?
It runs, yeah. I mean, that's probably good. Probably
You
a good
could-
second step.
You could just pull that coil and it won't knock anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like a brand new thing? 5-cylinder. Like a
Well,
Volvo.
it starts in
It'd
theory.
be like his brother, like his little baby brother. That's in Colorado.
In theory, it starts. So that's all. That's all
Yeah,
that matters.
it starts. I do want to put it in gear and like move it and stuff. Like get this a little bit more situated where it's a little bit cleaner, to where like the battery's actually mounted there, and then have like a switch for the starter, not like a jumper thing, to where you could actually like start it, put it in gear, and like see what it does. If it'll like actually move, which it should move. Just hook up the tranny lines and stuff.
Drive shaft all hooked up and everything. We never pulled that, right?
Drive shaft's over there.
Oh, okay.
So a couple other little things, but it's
Do you have brakes?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brakes work. I need to mount the throttle pedal too. But I thought about just trying to put this whole contraption in there. That might make it a little better.
Mount it that way. Mount further up on the firewall too, right?
Or
right now
lower,
they're
and it would put the pedals like
because they're all way up. Right
where
now.
they're
You
supposed to.
gotta-
But I mean, I could lop this thing off. This is the mount for the drive-by-wire throttle body, or the drive-by-wire
Pedal.
thing, and just stick it over there somewhere.
Yeah.
It ran though.
It's good.
Definitely ran. This thing's a ripper, man.
Oh yeah. Sounds great.
Sounds great. Oh yeah, come on. Alright. No, I think it's done for today.
What do you think? It's a verdict.
We got to figure out where the transponder's
I need to
located.
actually wire.
This is weird though because I didn't have a transponder before.
But it was the motor was in the car when you guys were right.
Yeah,
The security lights on.
Well, we were using a screwdriver then too.
Yeah, but what? But is it somewhere inside the car maybe?
It could have been under. It could have been like stuffed underneath like the little plastic piece, and then when we put the thing in it, like Garrett put the whole dash column in it. So
Yeah,
maybe
the
it was
steering
like right on top of it.
Because that's the only thing that would cause a security light.
Because there's a
to be
security
honest.
light right now.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it's not getting signal from the transponder
And it's mad.
to engage the ignition.
Well, and if the HP tuners would connect and let me like, I'd just go like, boop.
You think it's
And
walking you out because
Yeah,
of the
because of the transponder.
You think on the HP
Maybe a
tuners?
ground, maybe this crap. Maybe.
I feel like it might be because of security. That once the security system is engaged, it probably eliminates all factors from being all out. You know what I mean? As far as like the OBD.
I mean, if you guys know, drop a comment below if it's a transponder, where it's at. If you guys mess with these Envoys or anything like that. I mean, if you have an idea, ground, if you guys have done this before, let us know.
All right, so that is where we are at with the C10. It's close, but you know, it's no cigar yet, I guess, is where it's at. Obviously this thing knocks, but I did want to see how well we could actually get it to run how it is. It is doing the security setup, which on these GMs, it'll start without like, so I don't actually have the key for it. So when we got it, I don't know what it was. There's like the key that was broken off in there or whatever it was. I think the immobilizer might have been on the console or zip tied up under there, and I don't know where it is. So whereas it ran in the Envoy, we don't have the immobilizer tripped right now or bypassed, and it's, as of right now, HP Tuners is not letting me into the ECU to actually go and like disable the VATs. So typically when somebody like LS swaps their 240 and they don't disable the VATs, it'll start for like 2 seconds and turn off, and that's pretty much exactly what this is doing. So even with the fuel pump like wired to run all the time. So have some obstacles to go with that. We got a little bit of stuff figured out with the bed, kind of got more of a game plan with that in the back. So Garrett, he's been busy doing some other stuff. So he'll be back out here in the next couple days, and we'll actually start picking away on the bed of this thing. But overall, she's looking pretty good. I definitely like, it's nice looking at it now that it's lowered and stuff. But yeah, just really need to figure out this whole mess of stuff. Get the wiring situated to where we could actually get this thing to run and drive. Again, the option is either pin in the ECU master and run that, or use this this stock GM ECU and do HP tuners with a turbo. So lots of different options. Again, I did end up getting in on a group buy on a manual transmission flywheel where I could actually put an AR5 tranny behind this thing. Just basically need to get like a small block Chevy clutch and like a ring gear for it. So could always convert it to manual, do the ECU master, and have just a freaking 100% control over it, or we could do this whole wiring mess of stuff, and you know, still have, you know, the automatic tranny that we have to deal with, and HP tuners that you have to kind of overcome, because at the end of the day, it's an emissions computer. But let me know if you guys are stoked about C10 content and what you guys would like to see next. Really appreciate you watching. If you guys do, you know, if you like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, comment, but we'll see you in the next one.